Good morning. Thank you so much for choosing the National Broadcaster and, of course, making us a part of your lovely Tuesday, the 11th day of April 2023. It's yet another new edition when it comes to celebrating women in ICT and, of course, in relation to talking health. My name is Sandra Kahunde. We're coming live from Broadcast House, Nile Avenue. We do apologize for bringing you this particular program a little bit late. There's really a lot to share, and I'm sure we're going to make up for the lost minutes right there. It's good to have your company. Well, we shall be talking about health. That is in terms of my guest for the day, who is going to be talking lots to do with biomedic engineering, what really you need to have on you to succeed when it comes to that particular space. And in relation to that, I also have a technical project manager. She's also going to be sharing quite a lot when it comes to that particular space as well. Just letting you know, just letting you to get to know my panel this lovely Tuesday morning. I'm having Caroline Nayebare, biomedic engineer, and also I'm joined by Davin, a blessed Namara, agent of Code Limited. That is where she works as a technical project manager. Well, it's not really about the Easter celebrations. You'd think we overslept. But anyways, we're preparing a lot for you this particular season. And for the Christians, welcome on board. He's risen. Christ is truly risen. Hope you had a wonderful holiday right there when it comes to Easter celebrations. And not forgetting our brethren out there who are still holding on and really working hard when it comes to Psalm season. Wish you all the best. Straight into our conversation. You're most welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Hi, Namara. How are you doing?
I'm all right, thank you.
How has been your Easter holiday?
Lovely.
Lovely, yeah?
Yes.
Good to have your company this morning.
Good to be here.
Okay. I'm sure you do quite a lot at Agent of Code Limited. As a project manager, you'll be letting us know how ICT has really benefited you and impacted your workspace.
Yes, please.
Okay, and Caroline, right next to me. How are you doing this morning?
I'm amazing. Thank you.
How was the Easter holiday?
It was beautiful. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, good to have your company as well.
It's
you
lovely,
are a
thank
biomedic engineer.
Yes, I am.
Yes. Please take us through that. Sounds tough. One would think of rocket science. Do they need to be friends when it comes to your figures need to be your friends, figures, talking science, you know?
Oh.
You're the ones who are to soak your feet into the water way
At
back
night,
in school.
that you have to read and make sure everything stays right here.
Wow. Tell us about it.
Well, biomedical engineering is it looks at the application of engineering principles in health. Not only health, but wheresoever humans interact with machines, with technology, because you must ensure that the health of the people is actually certain. So that whosoever is using any kind of technology, even if it be in the manufacturing industry, even if it be in the health sector, their health is not compromised. So when it comes to biomedical engineering, in application to health, in the health sector, we look more at the clinical engineering side of it, where biomedical engineers are in the hospital setting and they are aiding medical workers so that they apply these engineering principles and solve the healthcare challenges. That is through innovation of healthcare equipment, like the diagnostic tools that we have. When you look at the MRI, the ultrasound, the patient monitors, from the largest, which could be the MRI or the CT, all the way to the smallest equipment like the SpO2 probes that are used to get the oxygen saturation in blood. Apologies for the...
One would be thinking she's getting too technical.
Yeah, I noticed
some diction
that,
right there.
And apologies about that. So when it comes to what does one need, really it's application of biology and medicine together with engineering principles. So you must have the engineering side of it, but also understand the biology, the anatomy of the body, the physiology, how the body works, because only then can you be able to actually invent a machine that can be able to work on a patient or a human being, or even create the bionic gadgets like the human heart, the artificial heart, the artificial limbs, prosthetics that are able to work together with the human body. So with the biomedical engineering side, in Uganda they focus on biology, firstly, because obviously you are interacting with the human body. So if you don't have the biology side of it, it can be a bit tricky, though also that can be covered. It's not that someone who has not done biology at high school is eradicated from that or eliminated from that sector. No. Even someone that has done physics and mathematics with economics PEM, they can still get into it because they have the physics and math aspect that contributes to their engineering side of it. Then, during their course at the university, they bridge up the gap in the anatomy and physiology that adds up to the biology and medicine.
Amazing.
Yes.
You really enjoy your world. Eh?
I absolutely enjoy it.
And someone to think about it, that she's a woman and she's, you know, close to gadgets and thinking like men. You must be a friend of ICT, I should say, with the different innovations that you're talking about when it comes to equipment at the hospital. So the ones who are always looking out for us. One wonders, you know, they will always tell you, make sure you don't carry your pins when you go for the CT scans, make sure you put this away, mind your belts and everything.
Yes.
Okay, tell us about Uganda itself when it comes to all those equipment, the necessary ones that we have at hand in the health centers. Where do we stand as Uganda? Or we still need a lot of work to do?
Wow, that is an interesting one. Well, where we stand currently, we are, I think on a scale of 1 to 10, I could say we are at about 6. On a scale of 1 to 10. We are not so badly off, but we are not there yet. Because technology is always evolving. Every single day something new comes up. Every single day a new software is brought in. Because when we look at engineering in health, it is not only in the devices, but also the software, the tools, what we use, the systems, the healthcare management systems that we use, all those apply to the application of ICT in health. So where we stand as Uganda, honestly, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would look at about a 6. Why? Because, of course, we still have a challenge of having most of the equipment being donated, more so in certain healthcare facilities, though the private sector has tried to bridge up the gap by bringing in new technology when they bring them in. So oftentimes you find the private sector, private healthcare centers have more of the advanced equipment compared to certain areas, though our government has done well because we know of the Uganda Heart Institute, where they also have advanced equipment, plus other centers, the referral hospitals, where we have the MRIs and the CT scans, and those ones are actually major, and they are good for helping the health of our people here in Uganda.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, Carol has really a lot to share, but let's just get to know more when it comes to Namara's field as a project manager. How has ICT impacted your workspace?
First of all, I have a background in computer science. So with technical project management, you deal with systems themselves, development of systems. So as a project manager, I work with teams. I create plans on how a system is supposed to be built from the beginning to the end. I plan for the risks. I manage the scope. I manage quite a number of things, the modules, the features. So many of the applications that you see out there, mobile applications, web applications, systems themselves, I handle such things, yeah? And it is basically very, very exciting because you work with diverse teams. And also in addition to that, as you know, ICT is very broad, it is diverse, and this has been very, very facilitating for me to work with very many talented people. Today you work with a programmer who is skilled in this programming language or the other. The next day you work with someone else. And the mere fact that I work on so many different systems, I learn a lot. So if you ask me about agriculture, I'll tell you about it. If you ask me about maybe, we've even created things like love apps, you know, to create relationships and all that stuff. So if you ask me about algorithms and everything, I am able to explain because I've worked with so many different systems and in so many different fields. And I have also come to realize that ICT is very important in every field. It is one particular more like course that you can do, and at the end of the day you can work anywhere. The Law Society needs ICT. hospitals need ICT, agriculture needs ICT, every single place needs ICT. So if you go out there and study something like computer engineering, computer science, software engineering, etc., IT itself, you are going to get a position, I believe, almost in every single place that you want to work with. So like for me, I decided to specialize in project management because naturally, I have skills and talents in that kind of field. I love planning things. I love managing things. I want to work with different people. I am unsettled if I work on the same thing over and over again.
No,
I
we're
feel
not
like
funny with it.
You
get bored.
Very boring for me. And so me being able to work with different projects, that gives me so much joy.
Well, the different kinds of projects that you've worked upon and excitement that you speak about with all the experience. Are there women?
Yes.
In the field?
Well, I know one. Okay, there are
Maybe
so
a role model
many.
or something?
There are so many. I've worked with different project managers out there. I've worked with project managers. I've worked with a project manager in the UK. I've worked with a project manager here in Uganda, a lady. All of those two are ladies. And of course, there are also gentlemen in there. Especially it being ICT, like you said, gentlemen want to, you know, take up these positions.
That's why I want to know if there were women being part of those projects.
They are there. And any woman out there who has specialized in something software engineering, something software, because at some point, if you have to manage a technical project or an IT-related project, your background is necessary. You need to have done systems development somewhere, programming somewhere, as some of the course units that we've done in campus, yeah? So you've done this and the other. So later on, once you realize your skill is maybe in project management, of course you evaluate yourself, your talent, where is your strength, yeah? Not every woman or not every person who studies ICT is meant to be a programmer or meant to be in networking.
There's really a lot to explore,
yes.
Kind of variety.
Yes.
You'll be letting us know some of the varieties one can tap in,
yes.
you know, or maybe what needs to be their friend, which kind of projects, or the basics at least, for them to tap into that space. How I wish my camera person, brother at all, would look at the heels, eh? They're really lovely. One wonders. The women are closer to lipstick, to cosmetology, and they expect you to be putting on boots, and the overalls, you know, when you're talking about the ICT thing. I want to know where you, in your field, are there men dominating? How do they look at you? They'll be like, she's short and small, just like Sandra. How is the reception from the men?
Oh, wow. Well, like you stated it. From the first appearance, oh yeah, she's short. She's small. Can she be able to carry this? Will she be able to even move the city if this needs to be worked on? So that's, of course, the very first thing about it. But when you get into the space, you show what you're worth. You have to show your value. And of course, that starts with believing in yourself, believing that you can actually do this. As a lady, that you're not actually eliminated from that kind of space. It's not, yes, of course, currently, to one extent, obviously the engineering side of it is male dominated. But with the recent programs that have been running, ladies are coming up. And I do encourage ladies out there to get into this same field, to get into the engineering side, the ICT side, because it is good. It is fulfilling when you know what you want. So with my side of it, the medical equipment and management of healthcare technology, what applies, it is not just about the energy. It's not just about being muscular, but what is your intellect? What do you think about it when it comes to risk management to prevent your machines from going down or giving you unexpected breakdowns, yet you have probably a theater procedure that has to be worked on, or in developing equipment, inventions and innovations. What matters is, how do you think? Everything starts from up here. How do you think? How do you relate with all these things? When you look at from a wider perspective about the health sector, about what you are actually passionate about, because personally, I am passionate about saving lives and healthcare and supporting teams. So where do you come in? How does it come in? So what you think and how you see yourself matters. So of course, people are always there giving you negative vibes. But where do you generate your positivity from? You've got to man up, stand in your place and know that I actually have something to contribute here. And when you know you have something to contribute, you come out and bring it on board. Sometimes they may take it, sometimes they may look at it as maybe we'll give it thought later on, but still push it there. Keep pushing yourself. And remember, you are your own competitor. You're not competing with anyone else out there. You always aim at being better than you were the previous day. Whensoever you step into a space, even if it's working on a machine, even if it's inventing something, doing your research, coming up with a health idea, coming up with a solution, you are your own competitor.
Well, amazing. Great words right there. I'll be letting us know how tough it is to be in that kind of world, and of course knowing that you have to put safety first for the human beings out there. The moments they walk to you, I know they're clients, they need to get assistance, but the precautions out there, we have to be cautious about this and the other. I'll be letting us know what we need to prepare ourselves, how we need to prepare ourselves to come for maybe a CT scan, or maybe a head, or everything. There's really a lot in there. Get it back to the project manager. Right there. What are some of those programs that one needs to attach themselves to, or maybe befriend, or some of the basics for them to be better? Maybe the basics. To be
better in project management,
Yeah.
better in ICT. So you need to look out for things like the PMP, the project management professional. The moment I got into the field, initially, I was recommended I met a lady, and this lady had like 15 years of experience in project
15
management.
15 years, eh?
Yes, very huge. I worked with her for about a week, no, about 2 weeks, yeah. So it wasn't closely, but it wasn't even majorly like work, but how you work on a project. I was trying to develop something for her. And this lady tells me, you have very good skills in development, but you have stronger skills in management. And I thought, by the time I was, I guess, like a year out of campus, I think it wasn't even yet a year, but coming to a year. And when she told me this, I thought, what is project management? What is even managing these things? What does it take? So having that background, of course, I was able to get into the field easily. So for people out there that would like to get into project management, there are things like agile project management. I think it's called the agile practitioner. You're able to understand the framework of using the methodologies of using agile in managing software. The reason why people use agile is because software is very, very complex. Developing software, you require to do changes here and there, make changes, and constantly consult with the client over and over again, or the stakeholders themselves, about the changes that you're making in the system. So if you learn things like agile methodologies, how to manage that project, and of course your background in maybe ICT or something, especially the field that you want to specialize in, you can become a project manager in civil, you can become civil engineering, you can become a project manager in, I don't know, construction, but it is a very broad space for you to tap into, as long as you have a background in something. So like I said, you can become a project manager in almost every kind of field. Of course, there are also things like becoming a program manager. When you go to workplaces, you find titles like she is the program manager, she is, or he is.
Let's do she.
She is the project manager, or she is the program manager, or IT manager, or something. So the field is very broad, as long as you are able to understand things like dealing with teams, things like dealing with communication, customers, stakeholders. Are you able to manage all that kind of thing? The other thing that I like about my field that I did not mention before is the ability to, I believe, programmers are very special people. Most of the ones that I've worked with, they work at night. They are nocturnal. externals. And in addition to that, it's like they have their own
Is it because
language.
of too much work, or they're so passionate? That's when they create so
there
much.
There is that calm at night when everyone is asleep.
You're able to create.
Yes, you're able to think properly at that time without the noise. You know, Kampala is very noisy, not just Kampala, but most places are very easy. So without the noise, sometimes you think clearly. So for most of these people, they work at night. Now, working with these teams or being able to understand them, and some of them are even introverts. So they are unable to communicate directly to the stakeholders and tell them, this is the problem. Or even a stakeholder is unable to tell this developer exactly what they want. Now, I get to understand both parties. I understand this side the person is saying, now I just need to get into the application. And then I have to interpret for the developers. You have to create a login module. So it's just so much fun. But like I mentioned before, there are so many programs that you can do out there. I believe if women are able to find platforms like Udemy has Udemy has so many courses, different courses in different fields, not just IT. But you get onto that platform and you find a course is about $100, but you get a certificate. So you can, they also have like promotions once you sign up with them. I'm not just saying only Udemy, there are also other platforms out there. Once Google is out to help us, yeah? So once you search for
so how do they search it? It's maybe the spelling.
UDEMY.
UDEMY?
Yes. So I think it's udemy.com.
Okay.
So you go to not just udemy.com. Once you search for these platforms, I'm sure you can find so many. But I've so far purchased a number of, done so many courses on Udemy. And you get to, you feel like you've added something new to yourself, yeah? And it is beautiful to go out there and yesterday you did not know how to create maybe a UI design, and the next morning you are out there telling the UI designer you are wrong right there.
So there's nothing like laxity.
Yes.
Each and every moment you're supposed to discover new things.
Yes.
Wow.
And with these courses, like I said, there are promos. So I do remember purchasing a course which was supposed to be for about $100, and that time they had given me a promo and it was like $14. That's I think like 52,000, and you still get a certificate for that. And at the end of the day, you add this small certificate, you can learn anything. You can add, like I say, that project management certificate. Just that the project management certificate, the PMP, you have to get it from PMI or a PMI certified, school or something. Matt Abacus does that.
There's need for one to invest.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you have to invest in yourself as a woman. It is very important. Men are out there growing themselves. So how else are you going to
in this
develop
particular
as a woman?
field, for one to stand out and shine, you're supposed to invest.
Yes.
Every day you have
Constantly
to learn like a
learning.
new application.
Yes.
Always.
Yes.
That's why I say it's exciting. There's nothing like monotony that I'm used to. Every time I wake up, I have to go to work and sit on this desk. That is the same routine thing.
You know, that gets very
For
boring.
some people, that's
even if
how
you
it
were the
is.
one doing it. Every single day, same thing.
Like, yeah, I enjoy all the women. Every time I'm speaking to different brains. Now I have a medical engineer as well. Tell us more for us to be cautious. Okay, what we really need to know, the public out there, maybe one has not visited any health center for a medical check that requires certain equipments to be used. Maybe do a CT scan, or maybe do radiotherapy. There's really a lot of language there. Thank God they're healthy and they don't have to go through that, but at least what they need to know.
Well,
because with the x-rays, people have like issues. They have, okay, should I call them myths? Maybe you won't give birth, you won't give birth again, you won't conceive, you won't do what? Such talks that go on through people's minds.
Wow. Okay, so for every imaging modality which you've brought up, because that includes the ultrasound, the CT, the MRI, they're called imaging modalities. So for each one of them, they have their different prerequisites before someone can get in for a scan. But for the control of radiation, radiation does not the one that is used in the scans, it is controlled. And so it protects, yes, much as someone may have to do the radiotherapy, or may have to do a CT scan, or may have to do X-ray, those radiations are controlled so they do not affect their bodies. And in addition to that, we have the Radiation Authority in Uganda, which ensures that in every facility, whatever machine they have, be it an X-ray machine, a CT scan, the radiation that is being brought out is in accordance with that which is prescribed, because research has been done, and so they know, okay, this is the amount that the body can, amount of radiation the body can take in, and within a certain kind of period in time. So if you're preparing for a CT scan or an MRI scan, just be calm. Be cool, calm and composed, knowing that the healthcare team is there to take care of you. They're not there to inflict any harm.
There's
or
nowhere they can
pain.
exhaust.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. How tough has it been like for you working in that particular field? Or how easy? How easy? I'm sure someone in that field, or the concerned parties out there watching, and you're in the right space at the national broadcaster for any queries or any changes that you would like government, or maybe support from government. Maybe how easy would you wish government? How easy would it be, or maybe what request would you put in for government to make your space a better world to live in?
Wow. Now that we are on national broadcast.
I know.
Oh yeah. So biomedical engineering is still a young field in Uganda, honestly speaking. And so for most of the areas where biomedical engineers have been, it's people from without, and not necessarily Ugandans in those spaces. So it being a field, of course, a new field, it is still growing, that's for sure. So as per now, like I said before, Ugandan biomedical engineers are majorly either in research or clinical engineering, or some that have stepped into the supply chain, supply of medical equipment and things like that. So, and like Davin said, you must add on yourself daily. So it's, yes, it is an easy area, but it also has its challenges. And so you must add on yourself every day. But for one to stand out, honestly, for me, it has been the grace. It has only been the grace of God that has caused me to come out and shine and be in those spaces, because in as much as you must add on yourself every day, it's not like you anticipate a certain, there are those that have been, documented, but there are those that will come up and only God will be able to protect you. But for one to get into the field and actually shine, honestly, I would say it's the grace. Yes, everyone needs that grace, that added factor. Beyond the human factor, beyond the human abilities, there is that factor that must be added, which is the grace.
Divine.
Yes.
Wow. I just crossing over to you. For someone out there who wants to tap into your space and really want to be like Blessed, she has shared quite a lot that's been trying to figure it out, and they're like, yes, this is the way to go for me to excel. What words would you have for them?
Find your passion. Find what you're good at. Like I mentioned earlier, not every single person who goes to engineering school or computer science school or does any other, big course. I say it's a big course, it's actually a big course.
No, the computer science, the engineering part.
Everything, anything science related. Do you know dealing with math? You're dealing with physics? You might as well kill yourself. But find your passion, find your strength, yeah? Once you find your strength, I believe it is easier to find where you have to be. It may be that you did engineering, or maybe you're a biomedical engineer, or you are any other field, maybe pharmacist or something, and you're a lady out there and you have still not felt yourself fitting that space. Find your passion. Find what you are gifted in. Because, like she mentioned before, she mentioned that but God has given everyone talents, different talents. We are here seeing so many ladies out there developing so many different systems. I remember, I'll just give something very small. In university, my final project, it was an health embedded system. I was the only lady who did it. We were about 6 in the whole class, with, of course, you know, so many guys out there. And then I was doing it, I thought, but I could have gone for a simpler thing, you know. I could have, I don't know, I was stretching myself. I felt like we can't leave these things for the guys, and I could have done something simpler. But at the end of the day,
at the end of the day was to pass the examination.
Yes, it
and
was
get
to
going.
pass, but it was a difficult journey for me.
You had to put your feet in water and read the books.
If you had to take me back to do that embedded system, I would as well tell you, yo, let's do a mobile application and stop right there. But the
at least it
experience
has paid
I got,
off.
yeah, it has paid off. The experience I got with managing such things, with being able to get into that space where something is very complicated and you feel like crying. I remember at a certain point I cried, but I got when I was out of, you know, it's usually like the last project that you do when you're completing campus. So when I was done with the whole project, I looked at my work and I thought, girl,
you're really proud of yourself.
You're the real deal. And I was so proud of myself.
At the end of the day, tuition and school fees.
Everything right there. It paid off. I feel like going back and telling my parents, you know what, you did an amazing job right there.
Wow,
but,
thumbs up to them.
Like, going back to the question, once you find that thing that you're very good at, it's very easy to decide on a field. There are people out there, you've done maybe law, ladies, maybe your family, you know, coerced you into do law. It's the in thing. But your skill and passion is maybe in civil engineering or architecture or something. There are even people who have done sciences at A level, but then you end up doing, you know, an arts course at university because somehow maybe the tuition wasn't there or it was the place, you know. There are so many things that force people into certain
Apart
spaces.
from listening to that inner still voice.
Exactly.
They tend to switch and do something else, maybe because of the tuition.
Yeah.
Yeah, you find you're
Sadly.
like, this guy was really good when it comes to sciences, and you find them in your field, and you're like, and they misplaced Bambi, they were doing so well.
It's almost like life is very uneven. Sometimes you meet someone you studied with, and you're thinking, okay, what happened?
You know, you want to ask them.
Yes.
But you can't.
It's really sad. But even if you did you know, an arts, it's not too late to adjust. I have had friends, personally, when I was joining university, I did not want to do ICT or computer science or something related. I wanted to be an architect. And I remember at some point complaining and telling, you know, my mom, you know what, this is the place that I had to be, but you see, you told me this thing was going to be, you know, very, you know, good. That was around my first year. And I was complaining, and she told me, you have the ability to complete computer science, go and add architecture. You have the ability to complete law, go and add civil engineering. You can, even if, I've also met someone who did, I think, tourism at a standpoint, you know, university, but later they like changed paths and went into IT, did courses here and there, and right now there is no tourism anywhere in their field. So if you
And
are
have excelled.
a lady, if you are a lady, because as ladies, we have a hidden strength, yeah? We have so much, you know, there is that inner potential that is in there that you have to bring out once you find that space, that thing that you are passionate about. Once you find it, go for it. There is nothing like gentlemen, you know, telling you can't do it.
The parents should put in more. They should also invest more when it comes to the
parents,
girls. Because not thinking like at the end of the day she has to get married and forget about these other things she studied and things like the man will be like, I'm going to, you know, support you and take care of you. Why should you go look for work?
I want to also believe, even if you're married, you can improve yourself. I believe personally, if you are very well improved, you know, you've added this thing here and there, like I've told you, add a few courses here and there, learn something new. One day, even maybe that husband that has maybe not been proud or not been seeing your strength somewhere, will see a lot of value in you. We'll see an improvement, and you know, you become much better. You know, you're impacting people, and we are here for all that.
And you give birth to bright children, and you know, they'll be in safe hands. Well, Carol, getting back to you. For someone out there who's also trying to figure it out, they're like, that world could be tough at her end. Please excite them, for them to really get to know that making that decision, like you made, to be a medical engineer, which was not easy. Yeah, you should also let them know that you have to do the books. Please excite them.
Wow. Excite them. That is very interesting.
Could be both. Could be both. What they really need to do.
Well. Yes, of course we had to do the maths. Yeah, the math is necessary. But more importantly, be intentional. Whatsoever you get into, be intentional and deliberate about it. Don't go in half-heartedly. If you see, you feel in your heart, I want to build robots. I want to make machines. I want to do this kind of thing. Do not think of yourself less. If that desire is already on the inside of you, then there is someone out there whom the Lord will have sent, the universe will have put in place to bring out that desire in you. So don't just look at maybe third world nation, maybe I am from this kind of village or this other area. When you have that desire in you, be intentional, believe in yourself, be deliberate about it, and don't be slothful. When you see the kind of life you want, don't be slothful about it. Go for it. Be a go-getter. Be very deliberate. Add value to yourself, like Davin has said to all of us. Keep building on yourself. There is actually, you know, scientists said the sky is not there. So I will not say the sky is the limit. There is no limit to where you can go. Keep soaring.
When it comes to engineering?
Yes. Keep soaring, keep flying. Every day, tech is increasing and it's changing. And minds are needed in these very places. So as long as you build yourself, and all it needs is that tenacity within a person. Just harness that tenacity, and when you get into it, get into it wholeheartedly. And there is no limit to where you shall go.
Do you have role models in that field? People that you looked up to? Because we really need to find out if there are women at the back of it.
Yes, there are women. Actually, there is, at my university, there is a biomedical engineer that came from Johns Hopkins. And she's good in what she does. And later on, she actually started a foundation to fund girls in the engineering side of it. Yes, so she's there, and they're doing big things. When you watch the World Engineering, when you look at the Engineering Association worldwide, you see very many women that are getting into these things and building projects that are way bigger than them. You look at the ladies' size, and you're like, it doesn't add up.
It doesn't add up.
The robot is like this side, and yet the person is, you know. But they've put their mind to it, and they've actually built it. So that is what matters. Get into it. It's not about size. Yes.
If opportunities did open up for you on the global market, you think we're able to compete as Uganda?
Yes.
Or easily sail through and fit in?
Compete in terms of innovation and inventions? Yes, we are able to. Currently, actually, at Mbara University, there's an MRI project that has been running. Yes, where they're building a low-field MRI scan, and they want to send it to a particular hospital that deals with children that have hydrocephalus. And so that has been worked on. So in as much as, yes, the growth might be behind the scenes, but it's there. And it's evident. Projects are coming up, like Davin herself building a health system, a health system.
So you need their support.
Yes.
You need to actually have to put them on their toes to put up more innovations.
Yes, they have to be there, because in health it is beyond just the machines. All these machines we see, they're run by software. There's a certain software that is working
I was here to ask,
within the...
what keeps you closer? The project manager, the biomedical engineer. There's connection. That is where we're here to celebrate the ICT and the health
Yes.
bit of it.
Yes. So all of us work together.
The software.
And develop systems for them.
Yes,
They
and
need you.
Improve and polish.
and we have to advise them on how does it work exactly, because for them they're more of code when
That's
it
not
comes
our
to the
field.
when
We
it
definitely
comes
wouldn't
to them,
entirely understand the medicine
how the human
world.
system works
Exactly.
and how they're going to develop, maybe even if it's the artificial heart.
Yeah,
We
they
need-
have the art.
Yes, they have that coding side of it. Then, of course, there is the biomeds who will understand, together with the doctors, will understand how the system works. And so we chip in. And then there are also those artists who are necessary to, maybe a robot, let's give it this kind of shape. It will be more appealing. Maybe for a patient monitor, if we make it this and this way, it won't
So that you
be
don't get
appealing.
scared at the end of the day.
Yes, you
to
don't get
visit
into
the
a
health
hospital
centers.
and you're looking at a machine and you're like,
And you get sicker.
God help us. I don't know what I'm getting
Are they
into.
going to use the pair of scissors on me? Am I going to fit in that machine? What are some of those other innovations that you would love to see Uganda be part of? Earlier on you explained that there's a lot that has to be done.
Yes.
Yeah, at a scale of 10, we're at least 6. We're improving with the Cancer Institute, with the referral hospitals that we have. At least there's more improvement.
Yes.
But what more in detail, or maybe more innovations like?
Yes, more innovation.
Yeah, because we cannot deny that we have challenges when it comes to the body organs failing at the end of the day, and someone has to be taken to other nations or other countries for treatment. The cancers themselves, what more needs to be done for Uganda to be a better world?
For Uganda to be a better world, the
Which kind of-
innovation and
yes.
invention comes in. And so, of course, funding has been coming in here and there, but for someone to actually take it to the next level of, yes, something as, like her project idea, she had it at campus. What happened after that?
She switched to something that brings in money. Eh?
Was it ever taken up within a health sector? Did it ever work?
That thing was going to be huge.
So can we still get back to it?
In universities,
Yeah.
there's so many projects.
Or you need to actually meet the Minister of ICT for funds?
Well, I'm not so sure
If you have
how that exactly works, but
it would do for you at the
It
end of the
would.
day. Or maybe if you had a session with the
it
president.
would. But
You would explain the
I
innovation.
would. The thing is, you, Sandra, I'm sure you are thinking about something different. When you look at this space, you think about maybe the camera would be somewhere else, or maybe the lights would be somewhere else. Same thing with every other person who is in the innovative world. The brains are different. You are thinking special things, and it is limiting because sometimes when you join, university, and you meet some people out there, lecturers and all that stuff. They are lovely people, bless you, but sometimes it is limiting because someone will tell you, "We want to do this project, but it's huge. You can't take it on." And so instead of getting that idea and maybe writing it down and someone helping you do, half of it and maybe polish it up after university, they just drop the whole idea. And so that thing that was building on the inside of you, that idea that you had, you're unable to bring it out. So of course when you graduate and everything else, or you go out there, now you're focused on the monies. Where am I getting the monies?
What brings in more?
And that idea you had, no one pushed it, no one, helped you grow. No one looked at it and said, this is something, beautiful. The other disadvantage of maybe having such ideas is sometimes when you share them, share with someone, you tell them, so I have this thing, you know, it is exciting, you know, you're
They
sharing.
steal the idea, and then
They steal the idea. They have the funds.
They have the funds. That's if they don't turn out to be buffet.
They have the funds, but even, you know, same thing like the way God created the universe. I'm sure no one else would have been able to create what he created the same way he created it. So even then, when they steal the idea, you do not pick the brain of the other person, what they had initially wanted to bring out there. So it is very important that for ladies out there who are, you know, still being groomed up, even children have very unique ideas. Yes. A child will tell you a plate can float. Like,
when you think about it.
How is that even possible? We're talking about gravity here. But if you listen critically, you know, you push this child, try to bring out that thing that has been building on the inside of them, you will find very great innovations. That's why you'll hear people abroad, you know, like the biggest tech startups out there are by young people. But you're thinking, you're young, we also have the same young people in Uganda. Why is it that Ugandans are not, you know, developing the same thing? It is just that push. Sometimes you need the push from someone to, you know, help you out there.
Allow us still a few minutes from the hour of 11 a.m. We're going to let you go, dear viewer. Just that I need to get to know from the ladies your legacy. I'm sure you've been an inspiration to someone out there who is listening up to you. But just which legacy would you love to leave behind, especially in the field that you're in, that you operate in each and every single day? Blessed would love to shoot, eh?
Yeah, she can go first.
For me, anyway, it's never for me. When you're working with teams, you later realize you can't do things alone. But I would want to be that inspirational person. You see, this is just a small step, you know, coming to UBC, and, you know, it's a small step in the bigger plan, the huge thing. So I would want to be the kind of inspirational lady that impacts lives. The other thing about, you know, already when you're developing a system, you find a problem, then you're providing a solution. So I would like to be a solution to so many ladies out there. It's very possible to be anything. That's the kind of legacy I would want to leave behind. The kind that impacts people, not, you know, there is one that can benefit you. And someone will as well say, she did this, but, you know, it was for herself. She's
folding hands and relaxing, not impacting another lady out there.
No. It is important to impact someone, because you will start something in them that they may become better than you. It is not about being, you know, at the top and sit at the top alone. It is important when you're going to the top and you're rising, you rise with so many other people. So that's the kind of legacy I would want to leave behind.
Wow, great words of encouragement. Just briefly, in a few minutes, let's hear it from the medical engineer.
Wow, thank you very much, Sandra. Impacting lives is one of the most fulfilling things that one can do. Dr. Miles Monroe wrote and said, when you are leaving this world, don't go with that potential in you untapped into and not having impacted someone else. It is not just about me, it's not just about myself, me, my family, I, but it's about everyone else out there, those that we are called to impact, those that must see, because when someone sees something, then they are pushed to actually come out. For those that have seen us here today, there are those that know have been encouraged to actually move out and do that engineering. So to impact lives and make this world a better place.
Well, we cannot exhaust it, but there's really a lot to share. And for us, it's been an honor to spend time with you this lovely Tuesday morning. My name is Sandra Kahunde, and of course, for the proud ladies here, happy to be women. Women of inspiration, women of steel, I should say. I was joined by the medical engineer that is next to me, Caroline and Nayebari. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
and
you.
at the extreme end, I was joined by the technical project manager from Agent of Code Limited, that is Adavian Blessed Namara. It's been a pleasure spending time with you. Wish you all the best. One wonders, we started the episode late. Maybe we had a lot to eat during the Easter Easter holiday. Well, keep watching the National Broadcaster. Lots of programs are lined up for you as you enjoy your Tuesday, this 11th day of April 2023. I'm looking forward to having more of your company. That is at tomorrow, same time, same place. God bless you.